What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Hope everybody is doing well this fine morning. Let me sip my coffee, drink my water, and wait to talk some good boxing with some adults. You know, grown people that act like grown people. Good morning. It's Friday the 13th. It's the day of the root. It's Friday the 13th. Today is the day of you better act right, bro. What's going on? Mr. Mileage in the building. What's happening? All things in the building. What's good? Gabe Toss. What's up? Channel 68 TV. Ray Patterson in the building. What's happening with you, sir? Jarrell Davis, man. GTD all day. Yes, sir. We're going to talk about this next fight. We're going to talk about the two king era that we're in right now. There's a lot of conversations going on about Shakur and him being the man and Gervonta not being the man, and other side of the street, it is Gervonta is a man and Shakur is a fake. You know, all the good stuff that makes for a big fight. Because that's where we are. We might as well talk about it for real and not act like we're in a situation that's not where it is. There's a lot of other good fights that can take place and will take place. But really, as far as American boxing, right now, it's right there between 135 and 147 and 154, and 154. Right between anything between 130 really and 154. That's where American boxing is prospering and dominating. Actually, I could say we got a champion at 126 too, but I think it's fair to say that most of the talk right now revolves around 135 because that's where Gervonta is. And then the people that were who have had a lot of promotion over the last several years, the also ran as Negroes. You know what I mean? The also ran fighters like Devin at this point, Ryan at this point, Roley at this point, Mario Barrios. These are all good competitors that are out there for everybody to fight. Devin Haney. I think I said Devin Haney. Devin Haney. Because even when you look at the four kings, what happened to the four kings? The four kings was Gervonta, Ryan, Teofimo, and Devin. Teofimo just got popped off for sure by Shakur. Devin Haney got beat by Ryan. Not going to unsee that. Sorry. Not going to unsee that. You may have gotten your somebody had to go get your belt back and bring it back for you. That's why I'm saying I'm not trying to hear that. You didn't keep, somebody had to go get your not your belt. I'm sorry. Somebody had to get that. Somebody had to go get your back for you. You got your ass whooped. I saw it. So there's Ryan having whooped your ass. And then I saw, or Devin's ass rather. And then I saw I saw Ryan get his ass knocked out by Tank. I also saw Roley get knocked out by Tank. And I also saw Mario Barrios get knocked out by Tank. I saw Teofimo Lopez get whooped by Shakur. Am I missing something? Raymond Muratalla. Raymond Muratalla is not the top dog. But Raymond Muratalla is up there. Another good one. You know what I mean? Andy Cruz took on Raymond Muratalla early. Another good one. Abdullah Mason's on his way up. Very, very good one. You know what I mean? Floyd Schofield is there. Very interesting career so far. Shows potential. You know what I mean? Definitely somebody pay attention to. You got Brian Norman Jr. still, who lost to Devin, but still, we'll see where he goes from here. A talented young man that now has more experience. But at the end of the day, at the top of all these guys, which are some really good American fighters, we got Shakur Stevenson and we got Gervonta. So that's where we really, really are. Now, I'm not saying that means these guys got to fight tomorrow, because more than likely that's why we're not seeing them fighting tomorrow. because they were waiting, because the situation, not they, the situation requires that you wait for Shakur to get that name recognition, and I think he's doing a terrific job. So we're going to talk about that today. We're also going to talk about Keyshawn Davis and Devin Haney and why that's such a very, very difficult fight for Keyshawn Davis. And Keyshawn Davis is pretty much in a situation where he's going to have to knock him out. We're going to talk about other things like Ali's resume and Floyd Mayweather Jr. because I thought about something, man. And when we get to it in the conversation, I'd like for you guys to think about this now if it's possible. If somebody is the greatest fighter ever, shouldn't they have been the best person in a weight class? Curious question. Just a question, I'm curious. Think about this for a while. If you are the best fighter of all time, stop that shit. Sorry, my dog tried to open the door. Shouldn't you be, let me go down here, say what's up to everybody else, bro. Shouldn't you be the greatest fighter ever in a weight class? I thought about that. Just think about this for a second. God dang it. Oh. My wife let him out. Huh? I thought he opened the door. He just tried to open the door. When it was you, I thought he did it. Yeah, he tried to open the door right before you came in. Yeah, man, my dog can open doors. That shit was like, man, it's because we got somebody downstairs. But seriously, man, in order for somebody to say they're the greatest fighter ever, they should at least be the greatest fighter in a weight class. One weight class that you are the best fighter ever at. How can you be the number 2 or number 4 featherweight, number 2 or number 4 all time in lightweight, number 6 all time at welterweight, but say you're the greatest fighter ever when you're not the greatest at any weight class? You're not the greatest at any weight class. I don't think you can do that. I think you have to be the greatest at a weight class. Because I was thinking about this. You can't compare people who are not the same class of fighter. You can't do it because different style of fights depend on the size of the fighter. Floyd Mayweather, you don't see a lot of heavyweights using shoulder rolls and shit. You don't really see a lot of that. You know what I mean? You really don't. Because those dudes are throwing bombs, bro. You're not setting a target up there for people. You know what I mean? Part of the shoulder roll is that you're putting a target right here. But you got light punching niggas hitting you here. Dog, if you fight like this and you do that against somebody like Ernie Shavers, man, they brush across your shoulder, bow. Your ass can get knocked the fuck out. Or you're going to wind up with brain damage like James Toney. Shit, James Toney got hit too much. Hell yeah, you're going to get your shit fucked up fighting them big-ass dudes with a shoulder roll. All they got to do is punch you on the shoulder. But anyway, you can't fight the same way at lightweight that you fight at heavyweight. You can't fight the same way at middleweight that you can at super middleweight. You know why? That's why you always want to talk about me being crazy or something. Or you want to compare how funny you are to the actual analysis of boxing history. You know what I mean? There's a lot of problem out of here, man. Y'all pull so much dumb shit but you're not very smart. So you can't think your way all the way through this problem, son. The fact of the matter is, we're going to talk about that when we look at Ali's resume, and we're going to look at it from the point of view of somebody in a weight class. A weight class for 20 years. The same weight class, which means everybody that came through for 20 years he had to fight. His resume has to be better because the little guy doesn't fight the same guys for 20 years. He moves up. He can move down. He can get a belt here. He can get a belt there. No, this guy had, look at Bernard Hopkins and how long he dominated a weight class. He dominated a weight class for like 22 title defenses. That meant everybody that at least went through that sanctioning body for 22 fights had to fight that guy. 22 fights as a world champion. He beat so many middleweights that all of the weight class from below had to come up, and then he beat all of them too. He beat all the guys before, except for Roy Jones, in the middleweight division. And then when the younger guys came up, he beat all of them too. You can make an argument about Bernard Hopkins being the greatest middleweight ever. You cannot make an argument about about any weight class that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is the greatest ever at. He's not the greatest lightweight. He's not the greatest welterweight. He's not the greatest featherweight. He's not the better. He's not. He doesn't have the best resume in any of those weight classes. Hey, I don't care what Hissy Haney got removed, which it shouldn't have been removed. For 2024 is etched in my mind. Yeah, you got your ass whooped. That's not getting out of here. So we're going to talk about that as well. We're also going to talk about Floyd Mayweather Jr., Mike Tyson, and the reality of retirement. I've written a script, a guiding script for me to do my live stream today. Okay, Floyd is arguably the best at 130. Okay, there you go, 130. 130. 130 is not a real weight class. You got to go to 135. He's got to be the best at 135. 130 isn't a real weight class. But for the sake of it, okay, 130. 130. I don't think anybody, what weight class was Salvador Sanchez? What was Salvador Sanchez? Salvador Sanchez like 118, 126. Floyd is a go for me, just my opinion, no disrespect to anybody. No, I'm just saying. I'm not saying he didn't have a fantastic career. I'm just saying if you think you're the greatest all time, you should absolutely be the best at a weight class. Sugar Ray Robinson is associated with the welterweight division. He dominated the welterweight division and the middleweight division. But he's known primarily as a welterweight, I do believe. And I don't think that there's any better welterweight ever than Sugar Ray Robinson. Yeah. Manny Pacquiao, same thing. He was never no, I don't think Manny Pacquiao is the best, the top at any particular weight class. No, I think it's a trend. It's a trend and it's a good thing, but it's kind of like, okay, so Henry Armstrong. To me, the best featherweight in history is Henry Armstrong. I can tell you who I think is the best 126 ever. Henry Armstrong. Because Henry Armstrong defended the 126-pound title at the same time as he fought for the 135 and fought for the 140 and he won the 140. Yeah, he reigned at 126 and he got 135 and 147 and fought for the one at 160. But that was all in the same year that he fought at featherweight. So I think he could maybe be one of the greatest. He may be the greatest featherweight of all time. But I don't think, that's why you have the pound for pound stuff. And this isn't something that the argument, and what's up, 2 Cent? How you doing? Oh, Alexis Arguello was a monster at 130. So, yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting to get some boxing historians up to talk about who they believe is the greatest in any weight class. Because when you're talking about different classes of fighter, you know what I mean? Different classes of fighter, and you have guys that dominated a particular weight class versus guys that were going for paydays, you know? Now you can say, oh, he beat the best guy in this weight class. He beat the best guy in that weight class, but you don't really know it. You don't really know if he based off that style would have beaten everybody in that weight class. Like, take, for example, the fact that many people think Floyd lost to Jose Luis Castillo, right? That was just a bad day for Floyd Mayweather Jr. He beat him the next time. But, the longer you stay in a weight class with guys the same size as you, the more chances there is, and the less options you have, the more fights that you get mandated for you to fight. There's something to be said for the longevity in a weight class in a sport that is divided by classes. So when you are comparing fighters, you have to compare the class. You don't have to. I would suggest that you compare the class of fighters. And we say, okay, who is the greatest heavyweight? Who is the greatest light heavyweight? Who is the greatest middleweight? Who is the greatest? And that brings a fucking consistency of performance. And it also limits the number of shits you could do when you have guys move up and beat somebody like Ricky Hatton. You know what I mean? Like, say you move up into a weight class like Shakur. Let's take Shakur. Shakur is a 4-weight division champion. He's only beaten the best guy in a weight division twice. Really once. He's never cleared out a division. Right? He's never cleared out a division. You have 126. All kind of guys at 126. Shakur did not fight. He did not fight Gary Russell Jr. when Gervonta, when they were both champions in the division at the same time. There's a bunch of people he did not fight at 130. Obviously. Lamont Roach is at 130. He did not fight Lamont Roach at 130. They were at that weight class at the same time. I can name people that didn't fight at 130. At 135, there's a bunch of, he didn't fight the number one guy at 135. The people can say he was the number one guy at 135. It's not because he beat the top guy at 135. And Chris Algieri can say whatever Chris Algieri wants about Gervonta not being a top 8 lightweight. That's just telling you Chris Algieri is full of shit. And Chris Algieri is willing to say what people tell him to say. So good job, man. Get that check. That is a get a check statement. Oh, yeah, Gervonta Davis is not a top 8 pound for pound, not a top 8 fighter in lightweight. He's not. Who are the 8 fighters? Oh, Andy Cruz. Dog, Andy Cruz probably had what do you have, 6 fights and he lost to Raymond Muratalla? What the fuck did Raymond Muratalla do? Raymond Muratalla do? Right? No, you know what I mean? It's a get a check statement. It is. You making sure you get that check after you make that statement. Make that statement and I'll fuck with you. Shakur is not backed by Turkey, man. Or he wouldn't have been on an undercard if he was backed by Turkey. I don't buy that shit. You guys can tell that story to somebody else, man. I'm not buying that crap. Oh, what women do, man. Funny story somebody told me, bro, about the type of dude that you call. What do you call a guy that gets upset? What do you call a guy that has a crush on a girl and the girl has a friend, has a male friend, and then the guy that likes the girl starts talking all kind of shit about the girl's male friend? What do you call that? Back in the day, I think they used to call that a cock block. I think that's what they used to call that. I think they used to call that cock blocking. Yeah, I think that's what you call it. When a dude got a crush on a girl and the girl has a relationship with another dude and the dude wants to start dumb shit with the other dude in the face of the girl he likes. I call that corny shit, is what I call that. They used to call that shit a cock block, is usually what they call that shit. I say, hey, it's still what it's called, right? That's still what they call that. You know what I mean? Man, when I was a kid, there used to be so many blockers, bro. Dog, niggas always got problems, dog, when the girls like you, bro. They always want to start calling you gay. They want to start spreading rumors on you. Niggas want to fight at the club. My man, I swear, bro, it has been a story my entire life with niggas that always want. Niggas that like the girl, but the girl likes somebody else. You know what I mean? Even if the dude don't even want the girl. The dude don't even want the girl. Not that, you know what I mean? The good dude may not even want the girl. The dude can literally just be friends with the girl, like, what's up? But just because that blocker knows of the potential, oh, no, that man got to fluff up. He got to do all kind of shit, man. Man, that's some sad cornball shit, bro. That's some cornball shit, man. I remember when dudes used to do that. So y'all remember what these dudes be out here doing in these streets, man. Anyway, that was another topic that I wanted to talk about because that's what they do to Gervonta Davis, dog. You know what I mean? The reason I tell you that is because that is what they do to Gervonta Davis, man. These dudes be hating on Gervonta so bad because Gervonta Davis has a bunch of fans that they want. And these dudes just, you think Eddie is feeding Shakur to Ben? Dog, let me tell you something, man. 2 cents. Let me tell you how much respect I have for Shakur Stevenson. 2 cents. Let me tell you how much respect I have for Shakur Stevenson. I know Shakur Stevenson is not stupid enough. Just do it is on Gervonta. I have no idea. I have no idea what you're talking about, bro. You think Eddie's feeding Shakur to Ben? I'm sure he wants to. Ben, I'm sure he wants to. I'm sure he wants to, bro. Man, Connor Ben is the sleaziest, greasiest looking dude. My God, nigga, you look greasy, man. Dog, that's hard to even look at that dude, man, with that shit on his head. 2 kings of a dead sport. Thanks for showing up to the live stream. Hey, bro, the sport is not dead if you're showing up to say that, dog. You know what I mean? As a man, I can't stand guys like Shakur, literally undertaking nuts for years, then flipped on him after being in his dress room begging for selfies and clout. Jealous little punk. I mean, look, man. Look, man. Kids don't stay young forever. You know what I mean? Let's just be real. Oxteal, let me tell you what happens with kids, man. Let me tell you what happens with kids. Kids grow up, bro. When you're younger and you're looking up to people because, you know, you everything in the world looks like it's gravy. You know, you act a certain way. Kind of like Clarissa Shields used to act to Layla Ali. Shakur Stevenson looks like he acted like that with Tank. But after a certain point in time and you start feeling yourself and you think you deserve a certain level of respect, then you start, you know, smelling your own piss and you take a different look at the way that person behaves. And that's when you hear this stupid shit that people say, idols turn to rivals, right? And people think, oh, it's the idol that turns into a rival. No, it's your ass that went from idolizing somebody. Really, then you want to become a rival because you mimic the guy all the damn time. You mimic him. You like him, you mimic him, you mimic him, you mimic him. And then you start feeling yourself, you get you stay, and you start thinking you're the real deal. And then you think that this guy should be treating you as if no, you're just self-justifying your sense of competition. You idolized him, you set a target on him, is what you did. You're coming around him and you're talking like him, acting like him, dressing like him because you want to be like him. And then eventually you start imitating them, and then you start copying them, and then you have a confrontation with them, and then you feel hurt by him, and then you realize that you get more attention by him being your competition than him being somebody that you follow. That is no difference. That's nothing different than you just growing up. That's what it is. You grow up. You have the same relationship with your father. As you become a little kid, you think your dad is everything. And then as you become a man, you see your father as more of an equal. And you have more battles and you start going back and forth with your father. But in many ways, you've copied off of him. You've mimicked him. And now you have an adversarial relationship with him. There's no difference. That's what people do. You know what I mean? The question is, are you going to keep it and behave in a fashion that is rule-based, consistent, and fair? You know what I mean? So like what Shakur is doing with Gervonta, like he doesn't know him, fuck him, he's weird. Bro, Shakur, you shouldn't be saying that shit about a guy you took pictures with, bro, that is going through a bunch of troubles and got all kind of shit on his back, but you want to call him weird? Bro, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah, but that's how it is. That's how cats grow up. Shakur's not in the same situation now that he was in 2 years ago, so he's going to act differently. I don't have a problem with that shit. I really don't. The only thing is you're going to continue to treat the guy with respect. You know what I mean? Floyd Mayweather, I think there was a relationship like that between Errol Spence Jr. and Floyd Mayweather. Right? There's a relationship with Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Errol always kept it. And despite whatever was going on behind the scenes, Errol always kept it very respectful. That's the way he chose to carry himself. Shakur decides to carry himself differently because he's under the wing of Terrence Crawford, and Terrence Crawford doesn't like Gervonta. You know what I mean? They're very cliquish people. Very cliquish people. Very cliquish people. That's why they're called the Bud Buddies, because they're a clique of dudes. They're a clique of people. What's her name included? You know, what's her name included? But look, man, I'm not going to throw Shakur under the bus because Shakur, this is not, I mean, look, bro, I'm just being real with you. I think this is a time where you got two guys that are terrific fighters. You got two different fan bases, and that's what's up. I think Shakur is getting a legitimate fan base. I think Shakur's fan base right now is bigger than Devin Haney's. At least I hope it is. You know what I mean? I hope it is. Man said Clarence, not Clarissa. Yeah, look. At the end of the day, you can see that. It's like Floyd and Muhammad Ali. Dude, Floyd idolizes Muhammad Ali. Idolizes the man. Obviously idolizes the man. But he's just not honest about it. And I think it manifests in a lot of things for Floyd, like spending a lot of money. Dog, if you would have kept yourself humble, Floyd doesn't have any, what do you call that shit? Humility. Floyd has no humility. None. None. I've never heard any humility out of Floyd, ever. As arrogant as Muhammad Ali is, I've heard a lot of humility out of him. A lot of them. 9 days to the GOAT returns. Yes, sir. Shakur character has been exposed. You can't cover for him anymore. He's a hypocrite. He does everything. I'm not covering him for him. I mean, what are you talking about? I can't cover for him. I'm not covering for Shakur. If I'm not covering for Shakur, Shakur can do what Shakur wants to do. Shakur is a professional, is a grown-ass man. If he wants to fucking act like that and worship Gervonta and switch up, that's, okay, appreciate that. I mean, it is. I'm not, you know, Shakur is a terrific fighter. Shakur is a terrific fighter. It is what it is. And he's in a situation where he's going to be very hard to beat. And I think he understands that. So like Terrence Crawford, who is in a position, his mentor, obviously, who is in a situation of being a hypocrite, saying one thing, doing another. You know, I mean, Terrence Crawford is absolutely wild with saying one thing and doing another. Thank you, Tucson. I appreciate that. And I apologize, Tucson, if I read more into that. I try not to read too much into stuff. I really, really do. Shakur character has been exposed. His hair, his character has always been there. Yeah, honestly, I can tell you when he showed his character. I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something, 2 Cent. You know when I'll tell you he showed his character? When he and I mean this shit. When he sucker punched that girl. When he sucker punched that girl. You guys can talk about all that shit about people not being in the ring. Like Conor Ben, when Conor Ben with his scummy, greasy ass said, hey, Conor Ben, bro, you got to stop that shit, bro. You look greasy, bro. First of all, Conor, man, I know your mama white. All right? Let me help you with this shit, Conor. You got to get that shit where your grease, get the grease out of your fucking hair, bro. Okay? And look, you got grease and dye. Dye changes the texture of your hair, and the grease makes it look stringy and nasty. Bro, you got grease all on your face, bro. Dog, you look like you juiced. Seriously, bro, you look like you juiced. You acting like you on juice. Man, Conor Ben, for real, dog. I know you need some black advice. All right? Get the color out your hair. Cut a little low fade like you had before, bro, and keep it pushing, man. Man, anyway, who you got, Mario or Ryan? I got Ryan over Mario, man. I got Ryan over Mario, but if Mario beats Ryan, that is going to be the shit, bro. That is going to be the shit. Seriously though, that is going to fuck up a lot of people's heads if Mario Barrios beats Ryan Garcia. That is going to ruin a lot of money, bro. That's why I'm saying there's really only two. Honestly, truly trooping, there's really only one king, and then there's one contender. Honestly, man, that's the big money. There's only one guy there that I think is a really big money guy. The biggest money fight for Gervonta in boxing is Shakur or Floyd Mayweather. I think the only fight where Gervonta would make more money is if he fought Floyd Mayweather. That's the only fight that I think that would actually make more money than Gervonta. Dev ducking the Ryan rematch. Look, let me tell you something about Devin Haney, man. Devin Haney is a pretender. The Ryan rematch for you think? Oh yeah. True. Ding, ding, ding. You're right. I stand corrected. I stand corrected by 2 Cent. Said, nah, the Ryan rematch. You're right. Damn. and it might be Pitbull too. Shit, it might be Pitbull too. Might be Pitbull. Man, I forgot about that, bro. What's up? Hey, Gregory, I ain't seen you in a long time, bro. Love to eat good food. Question, what are you doing to grow the sport in a positive way? I'm sorry. Can you grow the sport in a negative way? I'm a boxing fan. I buy fights. I pay for fights. I think that I honestly, I can't personally help the sport grow. I can just maintain it, but I buy fights. I pay for the pay-per-views. Do you pay for the pay-per-views? But seriously, man, how do you grow the sport in a negative way? I need to understand this, bro. Question number 1, how do you grow it in a negative way? And number 2, I buy fights. Make the sport worse by turning fans from communities. Bro, what are you talking about? Make the sport worse by turning fans off from communities? Dude, what are you talking about, bro? I've got thousands of people that I talk to boxing about every day. I talk boxing every day, bro. I keep people interested in boxing every day. Seriously, man, I have over 7 million. I have millions and millions of views. I've got like 5 years versus 5 years of watch time, bro. I've talked about all kind of fighters, bro. Fighters that nobody ever heard of. People come and talk about people. I'm doing something for Gervonta Davis right now. You guys want to shit on Gervonta Davis? I spend my time exposing y'all shitting on Gervonta Davis. I think exposing you liars and bots is good for the sport of boxing. But I mean, then most aren't good for boxing. Then you're not good for boxing because you don't buy the pay-per-view. Put your money where your mouth is. If you don't put your money where your mouth is, you should shut the fuck up. If you don't buy pay-per-views, you steal the pay-per-views, you got to shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Anyway, it was nice talking to you, dog. I don't have to block all clowns. I'm not even going to call you a clown. But you guys are actors. You deserve Oscars. Me, I'm critically acclaimed, slug past your brain. I'm not trying to hear that shit from y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? I've introduced people to a lot of fighters, man. I've supported a lot of fighters. You hate people that don't like communities. What do you mean? I hang out with too many black people? Is that what you mean, King? Is that what you mean, Turkey Al-Sheikh? You loser. I'm going to tell you what it is. I don't even want to talk real shit to you niggas anymore, man. Hey, dog, hey, what is it, the red pill or the blue pill? Which is the pill that you take in the Matrix where you just stick with the dumb shit they expect you to believe? Did anybody see the Matrix? Give me the color. I think it's the blue pill. Isn't the blue pill the one where you say stupid and act like you don't know what's going on? And then the red pill is where you get all the real information and you know what's going on. Look, bro, take the blue pill. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to, if you want to stay on the blue pill, stay on the blue pill. I stay on the blue pill most times now. I'm not going to go red pill on you niggas all the time. I don't want to do it all the time. I'll play in your fake ass bullshit that you want to play in. No worries. Turkey Al-Sheikh. Turkey Al-Sheikh got the money. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm saying, like, hey, dude, I know, dog, I'm red pill, man, I'm the black pill in the Matrix. Dog, we making shit happen, bro. We don't need all that dumb shit from you all. All right, we're not trying to go with the fake. Your fake moves are just fake moves. Your fake fights, your fake call-outs, your fake beefs, your fake tough guys. Like I said, you're actors. Bro, let me tell you something, man. It was nice talking to you, man. You have a wonderful day, okay? You have a wonderful day. You're not bringing anything of value to this conversation. Love to eat good food. It was very nice talking with you, or it wasn't actually, but you're not bringing anything to this conversation but your complaints. Okay, that's all you're bringing is a lot of negativity, insults. You know what I mean? Like, that's not substantive. It's funny. You know what I mean? Like, the ones that do it in the joke form, it can be funny for a while, but dog, at the end of the time, dude, all you are is a comedian. You're all about jokes, man. You're all about jokes and the optics, man. You know what I mean? You niggas you guys are blue pill niggas for sure. You blue pill gangsters is what you are. Yeah, you are. You guys are y'all niggas in the Matrix are the gangsters in the Matrix. You guys are blue pill gangsters. Now I know what to describe. You guys are blue pill gangsters. Y'all niggas is just imitations. Y'all are just actors. You deserve Oscars. Like Biggie said, you niggas is actors. Y'all deserve Oscars. Bro, what the fuck is dude talking about? Yeah, you're an actor. You deserve Oscars. Yeah, exactly, bro. You're a bot. You deserve Oscars. Me, I'm critically acclaimed, slug past your brain. Bro, everybody knows what a bot is now. Okay? Everybody knows what botting somebody is. We have 300 people in the live stream, Everybody's here every day. You're acting, who is this guy? That's the same bot comment that you always get from you guys. Who is this guy? What's the next bot comment? Oh, I really used to like Fanon, but I don't like Fanon anymore. Say that statement in 30 different ways, but it's the same thing you always say. Who is this guy? And Fanon fell off in some form. I really used to like him, but I don't like him anymore. You do it in the comment sections. You do it in YouTube videos. You do it in tweets. It's the same stupid shit you do to try to convince somebody of something. That along with your purchased views, your purchased subscribers that are all funded by media companies who want to impersonate authentic content creators. Okay? You guys are PR agents or guys or girls that are on the come up. And you don't have enough actual boxing knowledge to defend yourself in an intellectual conversation. So you resort to insults. I am going to insult you. Look. Yeah, dude, lame. Are you that? Nobody? Yeah. Look. Yeah, dude's lame. Yeah, dude's lame. Yeah, I get it, man. Dude's lame. Anyway, man, it's nice talking to you, bot. It's nice talking to you, bot. I'm not even going to block you, dog. Thank you for your money. Thank you for the money that you... This is how let me tell you something else. This is how I grow boxing. I grow boxing by talking boxing and having a bunch of bots jump on my channel and start talking to drive the conversation. That's what I do for boxing. Hey, y'all can throw the guy out anytime you want, dog. That's why y'all got wrenches. I'm not tripping, you know? Anyway, let's get back to this, me clowning you dudes. You guys want to control the narrative. So let me control the narrative. I'm going to control the narrative. Right now, I'm going to control the narrative. Fanon, your day ones know what it really is. Yep, I know. You know what I mean? Bots. Oh, we don't like Fanon. You niggas just don't want my channel to grow. It's not difficult to understand. You guys keep me surrounded by a bunch of bitch niggas who are constantly talking shit about me so that my channel won't grow. That's all you're doing. But dog, my channel maintains, my channel grows every day. That's all you want to do. You just want to run me down, dog. You want to act like there's always some stupid controversy around me. Man, you guys are a bunch of fucking fake ass bums. I'm going to make the same amount of money that I make no matter what you niggas do. Okay? Life is good, bro. You know what I mean? And trust me, I'm very, very influential in the sport of boxing because I'm smarter than you guys. I can tell you that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a fraud. He is. He's the epitome of a fraud. I love Floyd Mayweather Jr. as a fighter because he's a terrific fighter. When he started talking about being a businessman, he was being a fraud. This guy's out there giving business advice to people. But yet in the same time, when his businesses fail, he claims he didn't know what was going on. Huh? You were selling for at least the last 10 years what a great businessman you were. Because you were spending a ton of money. That's the same thing Turkey Al-Sheikh is doing. Spending a bunch of money, claiming that he's a great businessman. You guys are all losing a bunch of money claiming you're a great businessman. All of you. That's called the blue pill. You guys are in the blue pill. Why? Because you guys are stealing in the red pill. The theft is all taking place in the red pill. The real crimes are taking place in the red pill, not in the blue pill, the red pill. Not in that bullshit you believe that gets put on TV, not the bullshit that they put on these YouTube channels, not the bullshit that they try to sell you on Instagram or Twitter. It's what's really going on. Now you find out the guy that was selling himself as being this business genius has been, according to him, been getting stolen from the entire time. It's all stolen money. And then he lays out, and then hey, dog, how many times you going to ask me the same question, bro? Bro, you ask me this question 30 times a day, dog. I'm not going to answer this question for you, bro. Okay? You've asked me this question like 30 times on different platforms. You've already gotten your answer. The answer is no. I do not think Tank would knock out Shakur Stevenson. But at the same time, bro, please, you've asked me the same question or 5 names 10 times, bro. Okay? I'm not stupid. I'm not, a lot of things I am, bro. Stupid is not one. I don't care how many times you write your name, give me different names. If you say the same thing with 15 different names, it's the same person talking. Stop asking me if I think Tank's going to knock out Shakur. No, I don't think he is. I don't. I also don't think Shakur is going to beat Tank. I don't. I think Shakur will lose that fight. And I have my personal reasons why I think Shakur loses that fight. I do. Big Dog Willie with the only donation of the day. Thank you. Tank, thank you for growing the sport. Salute Fanon and the delusional tanking maniacs. and only second to the capping ass Haney cult. These two fan bases hate each other, but try to drag Shakur fans in the middle of y'all ridiculous sissy fight. Come on, man. Come on, man. Hold on. Now I'm seriously though, bro. I'm serious with y'all. Y'all are fake as, you guys are fake as $3 bills, bro. You're fake as a $3 bill, partner. All the shit that you guys did to grow your brand. Let's talk about a brand for a second. Hey, man, this is an MH Blackwell video for a second here, if you don't mind. Even though I don't do a lot of content on that channel, I really need to start doing content on that channel. But at the same time, that's more like an inspired thing. You know, it's more like an inspired. Hey, Willie the B, the biggest Tank fan. I know, oh, yeah, he's a huge Tank fan. Man, I forgot what I was just about to say. God dog. Damn, I forgot what. Man, I'm getting old, man. I lost my train of thought. I was about to say I had some good shit I was going to cook on. It's about to be an MH Blackwell video, and I forgot about it. I lost my train. If it comes back, I'll get back on it, bro. Anyway you cut it, though, bro. Anyway you cut it, though. Oh, the brand. Thank you to the brand. Let's talk about brand. A brand is fake. Number one, a brand is fake. It's not real. A brand, because these old guys are always talking about your reputation and your brand. A brand is just fake. It is. A brand means nothing. Literally, it's something you put on your arm to symbolize something else. But you never really get a true understanding of what the thing is without its brand. Right? With its brand, just its brand. Because the brand is outward facing. It's what they want you to think about them. All the branding that they do is them trying to make you think something about them. They have their own brand. Right? They want you to think about when they see you, you need to think smart, new information, right? All the different things that you like, they want you to associate with their brand and then therefore associate with them. And none of their shit is ever going to be bad. Your brand is never bad. Nobody ever puts anything bad on their brand in personally. Your brand is supposed to be all good. Your reputation, however, is a much more personal thing. Your reputation is completely what other people think of you. So what these guys are engaged in is branding themselves, but also branding other people to damage their reputation. They're not just engaged in branding themselves. They're engaged in branding other people criminals, branding other people ducks, branding other people. They're all running around branding, either trying to lie to you about what they really are through their brand or branding other people and making you think false things about them. The whole game of hiding underneath a brand is a bunch of bitch shit right off the bat. Anybody I hear worrying about their personal brand is a fucking fraud as soon as I hear it coming out of their mouth. Because everything that you say and relate to this brand is going to relate to some myth that you're trying to create about yourself around me for you to get money. I much more care about your reputation than your brand. I care much more about my reputation than my brand. That's why I say my name is Martin H. Blackwell. So you know what my reputation is with people that actually know me, not what my brand is, which is what people who do not know anything about me think of me. Your reputation is what people that know you think of you. And you brand people to destroy their reputations when they don't have the opportunity to actually meet them. So when I hear you bring up the word brand, I know that you're a piece of shit right off the bat. Because to brand somebody else is what you do, as well as trying to convince and fool people as to what you really are. But then if you dig deeper and you say, what's this guy's reputation for honesty? I know what your brand is. Your brand is that you're a boxing insider that can get you information and can get things done. That's your brand. That's what you want everybody to think of you. You want everybody to think of you that you'll fight anybody. That's why you call everybody out. But what's your actual reputation? Your reputation is being a sneak thief. That's your reputation. Yeah, his brand, he's the greatest fighter ever. His reputation is that he's a sneak thief. So your brand and your reputations are not matching up. Your brand and your reputation is not matching up. Your reputation is that you are an unethical asshole that will take advantage of any and every person around you. But your brand is that you're a brilliant businessman. Now I'm going to ask any person with common sense, which one are you going to deal with? Somebody's reputation or somebody's brand? Are you going to, if you want to think about me, are you going to talk to the people that I've actually dealt with? The people that I actually know? The things that I've actually said that have come true? Are you going to deal with a brand that some fucking idiot wants to put on me as a mentally ill homosexual coward? That's the brand that somebody wants to put on you. Nah, bro, that's not my reputation. Check my reputation. You say all that dumb shit, check my reputation. Not the brand, not the dumb shit you niggas are trying to do on camera, but the shit that actually takes place in real life. My reputation is solid. You cannot brand me. You can't brand me because I already have a reputation. I'm a straight shooter and I tell the truth. And when people check what I say, it happens. You niggas have a brand, which is nothing but make-believe and what some corporate entity is trying to convince other people that you are. You're some insider because you got a pass to get in. You're an insider because you say and you do what they tell you to do. That's why you're an insider. I'm an insider because I'm an insider, period. Point blank, period. What do you mean? I don't even have to do anything to get in there. I'm in there. What do you mean? I don't have to be famous. I'm in there. You already know me. I'm already there. I'm not trying to get a reputation. I've got one. And a very, very good one to boot. So keep trying to brand me. You're never going to brand me. Never. It's too late. I'm all just like when y'all clowns, you do it to Gervonta. You're branding him as a woman beater. You're branding him as a woman beater. You have no pictures of this man hitting a woman with his fists. You have no accusations of this man ever hitting a woman with his fist. But yet you have branded him that. Let's talk about the spell you're casting. That's why you keep coming out with, oh, he's on the run. Brand him. Oh, he can't pay his lawyer's fee. Brand him. Oh, he's going to go to jail. Oh, he's going to go to jail for probation violations. Brand him. Every time you put a PR campaign out to do what? Control the narrative. You are doing what? Branding someone. What? With your narrative that you control. But all that is bullshit because you're just dealing with what people think, not what people do. So guess what Gervonta Davis has? Gervonta Davis actually sells tickets. Actually sells tickets. No questions about the buying patterns. Actually sells tickets. Gervonta Davis actually turns a profit. Actually. Not hedge fund money. Not money coming from somebody else where you're a pass-through, which is why you don't have any money. Let's tell the truth as to why you lost so much money, man. Because you agreed to be a pass-through. Yes, Shar. You snitching on you being a pass-through. On you being a pass-through. You being a pass-through. You dudes are pass-throughs. That's why you get so big. Because you're a pass-through. It's in their interest to make you big. Why? Because you're a pass-through. You're not a real businessman. You're a pass-through. You're somebody that has an event that they can pass the money through. The money looks big on paper for you, but in reality, it's very, very small. Why? Because you're a pass-through. Because you're a pass-through. The money doesn't stop with you. The money goes through you. Why? Because you're a pass-through. And you think that you're going to turn from a pass-through to a dam? You're not going to be a dam. That money is going to go through you. You're not going to keep that money. One way or another, they're going to get their money out of you because you are a pass-through from a hedge fund. Right? We getting this money out this hedge fund. Yeah, you're a pass-through from somebody stealing money out of a hedge fund. You're a pass-through. You're a pass-through. You're not rich. You're a pass-through. There's a bunch of big companies like that. Big guys that got $100, $200 billion companies, bro, that operate on 0.01% real profit. Real profit be like 0.01%. All the money is really just passing through to other companies. But what did they have? They had a requirement that they do business with a certain person. And so that person is the front for the money. You're a front, man. That's all you ever were, is a front for money, bro, because you're on the blue pill. You're on the blue pill, bro. You're on all that TV shit. They putting you in pictures, making you take pictures with all kind of money, all kind of planes, all kind of shit you have no business buying. I wouldn't be surprised if you were sitting there thinking, man, why are we buying all this stuff? Why are we doing all of this? Nah, Floyd, you got to keep living like this. Nah, other guy, you got to live like that. That's why you guys get mad, because you're pass-throughs. You're pass-throughs. You decided to stop. You decided to stop being real content creators. You're not independent businessmen. You're pass-throughs. That's why the money leaves you. Not because all these people are just stealing from you, but because you are literally a pass-through. Because you decide to do business with crooks. You decide to do business with crooks. Bro, if you can't catch up, bro, get on out. Yep, sold your soul, but that's okay. I'm not an actor. I'm not an actor. And I'm going to tell you the truth. The number one revenue making cat in boxing, making money, is Gervonta Davis. The number one revenue producer, the number one profit producer is Gervonta Davis. The number one most profitable boxer in boxing today is Gervonta Tank Davis. Number two most profitable boxer is Errol Spence. Everybody else loses money. Everybody else loses money. Everybody else gets paid more money than their fights make. Let that hit you in the dome. Every one of these guys at the top of the sport right now, with the exception of Canelo Alvarez loses money. Canelo Alvarez does not, fights don't make money. Canelo gets paid more money than he brings in pay-per-view or anything else. He gets paid more money, but his fights lose money. DAZN, he's been fighting on DAZN for years. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll take that back. When he fought on the PBC card, he probably made money. He probably made money on the Caleb Plant fight. But that's not the money that was made, literally made on. Yeah, I don't think so. Because Canelo Alvarez was on DAZN. His pay-per-views weren't doing those numbers. Nah, DAZN got over. Now he was out there operating at a loss with Canelo. For sure, Turkey Al-Sheikh's operating at a loss with him. For sure. All these guys are taking money and making losses. Dude, Shakur Stevenson, if Shakur Stevenson got paid $10 million for that last fight, and Teofimo Lopez got paid $20 million for that fight, $10 million for that fight, that's $20 million that they spent on that fight. You cannot tell me that pay-per-view and that made that money back. How do they make their money back? I'm telling you, man, the PBC's been at a disadvantage for a while. They actually got to make their money back. Because all money ain't good money. Anyway, here's a link, dog. You want to send your little trolls over here, bro? You think you got an army? You think you got an army, little guy? Man, the people are going to like me, bro, no matter what. You know why? Because I like the people no matter what, bro. And there's billions and billions and billions of people. And one thing I got to tell you, bro, I'll put a link in here in a second. Give me 1 second, Phoenix. Oh, what's going on, man? Hey, LeVar Aiken said, what's good, Fanon? Sorry if you already answered this, but how real is the Boots, Ennis, and Virgil? I think it's pretty real. I think it's pretty real. We're going to get some Shakur hate in here. I think it's pretty real. Said he ain't got shit. That little army whack as hell. Yeah, dog. Bro, I'm black, bro. Okay? I'm really black, bro. You can't buddy up to black people, bro, and fuck over a black man. It's never going to work, dog. I'm going to tell you right now, it's very hard to do that. It's very hard for a non-black person to roll up on a black person and make other black people feel bad about that guy. I'm sorry, it's very hard to do. I'm telling you, that shit's not very easy to do. You can join the chorus of black people that don't like other black people. You can join the chorus and then black people will laugh with you. But you can't start it with no black person and have black people that fuck with them be like, oh, we fucking with you. No, all they're going to do is be like, oh, there you go. Showed his true colors. You know what I mean? There you go. Come on, man. That's just never going to work, dog. I'm too good with my people, bro. I know who my people are, bro. I know who they are. I know them by name. I know who they are. That's not going to work. It will never, never, never work, bro. You cannot infiltrate the black community, dog. Like that, it'll never work, bro. You can marry one. You can do that. Never going to work, bro. It's hard enough for a light-skinned black dude to do it. I'm telling you, it's very hard for a light-skinned black person to do it. To be like a light-skinned black person to just start shit with a dark-skinned black person. I'm telling you, 99% of black people are going to side with the dark-skinned black person. Because 99% of the black people are dark-skinned. And they're going to side. So that's the dynamic in the black community you got to understand. But from outside the black community, no. Y'all not going to start no beef with Denzel Washington to call him a bunch of shit and have black people sign off on him, bro. No, you can try to do all that shit, but y'all try to do that shit to every black person that comes up. Seriously, you try to do it to Michael Jackson. All we find out later on, real Michael Jackson fans, the real black people who always supported Michael Jackson, not the fake one, knew the whole time y'all was just making a clown out of the man. Y'all just try to turn him into a clown and then try to accuse that man of everything under the sun. And he wasn't guilty, and black folks supported him in mass numbers, and it winds up that the people that were accusing him were the people that were really responsible for it. And that's why I don't fuck with Cat Williams. To this day, I don't fuck with Cat Williams like that. I mean, I think Cat Williams a good dude. I mean, I appreciate what he's doing, but what he did to Michael, nah, man. Just because that's not true where there's smoke. Somebody's going to say something 2,000 times about you that must be true. No. Liars know that shit. So that's why they say it 2,000 times. I mean, you act like, no way somebody can say something bad about somebody 2,000 times. It must be true. No. These lying-ass motherfuckers will find 2,000 people to say the shit about you. You know why? Because they'll get bot farms, and they'll make up people to say the shit about you. They'll respond to you directly underneath aliases from other people because they think they're fucking smart. And their whole job, again, is to brand somebody as something by repeating it 1,000,000 times. But black people are not that brainwashed. We are the least brainwashed of everybody in this matrix. We catch you guys on bullshit all the time. That's why people don't give a fuck about what's going on with ICE. We knew ICE was going to happen to you. I told you on this channel ICE was going to happen to you. Once you fuck around with the wrong white people, they're going to start snatching your ass off the street. And what happened? You niggas can't even go outside right now. Let's be real. Give me 1 second, King of Hayden. I see you. Let's be real. Let's talk about the difference between branding and reputation. The brand of my fellow Americans are that they're smart, that if you do what you're supposed to do, you can get ahead in life. And if you just follow the rules, you will be okay in American society. That is the brand of America. That's not the reputation. The reputation of America is if you get too big for your britches, these white people are going to snatch your ass right off that fucking pedestal and throw your ass on the ground. That's their reputation. It's not their brand. It's their reputation. I don't care about your brand. I care about the reputation. The reputation is now doing what? Exactly what I told you. They're snatching you off the street. Right off the street, throwing your ass in the clink and dumping your ass out the country. Like I told you they would. Just like when the people wanted to get rid of black people being able to get into colleges because they're black and that being a consideration, told you what was going to happen with that. You guys are going to get kicked out of school because you're stupid. You think it's all fair and square because that's their brand. They're Masons, right? Everything's fair and square. That's not their reputation. Their reputation is that they're going to get into the school and exactly who they want to get into the school is going to get into the school. Period. Whatever excuse they have for them getting into the school is just an excuse. They're going to get into that school. You all just want to be the one. Why don't you talk about boxing, bro? Because I don't like boxing, bro. That's why. I don't talk about boxing ever, bro. I am talking about boxing. I'm talking about you fraud-ass content creators that are lying about fighters and trying to brand people as criminals without being convicted, brand people as this, that, and the other thing so that you can destroy their reputation. That's why I'm talking about this. Because we deal with it in boxing every day with a bunch of YouTube channels trying to brand people as ducks. And they say it a million times, no matter how stupid it sounds. They keep on saying it over and over and over and over again. And they try to say it. That's all they're doing is branding it. But their reputation is not that. Devin is branded as one of the top fighters in boxing, but that's not his reputation. The nigga literally got beat up by Ryan. But I'll transition to the King of Hating. What's up, King of Hating?
Yo, you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Hold on, let me check some. I might got to disconnect. Hold up. You hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
I don't know. I think my audio might be screwed. I might have to hop back in. Cause
okay.
I don't hear you. I don't hear you. I don't know if anyone's hearing me.
I know I can hear you for sure. Let me see if anybody else can hear you. Yeah, come back in. Yeah, he couldn't hear me. That's weird. You guys can hear me. I mean, look, man, they label Tank. That's what they're doing. That is very strategic what they're doing. That's honestly, man, I don't have anything against you, Blue Blood. That's what you guys are doing, though. Okay? It used to be personal. I'll be very honest. It used to be personal. Like when I used to think people were just being like, that's not their job. That is what their job is. That's what they're doing. They're trying to, it's not a fact that it's not just Gervonta Davis doing things that Gervonta shouldn't be doing. It's people trying to put a label and brand Gervonta Davis as something so that Gervonta Davis cannot prosper. And I really, truly believe that is what's going on in the red zone. While in the blue zone, all we hear is the stuff that is happening with Gervonta. But we don't get to see what's going on in the red zone. But I'm telling you, man, I'm a red zone dude. Ain't nothing going to go on in the red zone. You guys just lying in the blue one. King of Hating, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, man. Go ahead, man.
I'm going to say, man, like, because he was talking about Teofimo and Shakur, like, I don't believe they made that type of money. And the reason I don't believe it is, but what was the WBC's rate that they charged for a sanctioning fee to the fighter? What was it, 3 or 6%?
Well, I can tell you right now that they went off of a $10 million. They already said they don't know how much money Shakur made. The WBC doesn't know how much money these fighters are making. They don't know. So if a fighter lies in the media and says, I made $20 million, and then the WBC says, oh, okay, you said you made $20 million, so let's use that as a way to negotiate your, we'll use that number that you made up to make yourself look rich. We'll use that we'll charge you off that. And they say, I don't want to pay that much. Why? Probably because they weren't making as much money as they were declaring in the media. Mauricio Suleiman said that Terrence Crawford made $50 million. He was like, because that's what's being reported. And he's quoting what's being reported, not money that they actually know that he's making. So if you guys don't want to pay $100,000, admit that you made $4 million for the fight. So you don't have to have them give you that number. It seems like, they're caught in a bad situation to me.
Yeah, and I think that's a problem because, like, I was curious, so I looked up the WBC rules about the sanctioning fees. And it was saying that includes, like, everything, pay-per-views, the live gate, concessions, like everything associated with what they made for the fight and what the fighter's purse is when you consider all of that. So if it's all inclusive and Shakur only had to pay them $100,000, which is what's being reported, that means he made about $3 million. If the rate that they charge is 3%, that means Shakur made about $3 million for the fight. So that's me. That's why I don't believe that. And then we got isn't this something that Devin Haney is now ducking Ryan Garcia in the public?
Hey, that shit is funny. He just doing that bullshit.
Hey, why didn't he duck like that when he was in the ring so he wouldn't get caught by them left hooks? Because if he would have ducked in the ring, he wouldn't have to duck right now. You see how he doing. Devin do everything backwards. He didn't want to duck in the ring. Now he got to duck in the future. He didn't want to be honest about what he was doing in the past. Now he got to settle for less in the future. He wanted to be like he announcing everything in reverse order. He's saying he the face of boxing, but he really the ass of boxing. Like this is the thing that I've been saying about all these guys that be hyping themselves up the wrong way. Like there ain't nothing wrong with finding your own groove and promoting yourself based on what you're able to do, based on what you do in the ring. But they want to promote everything about themselves based on what they feel they can do better than Tank, or what they feel they can do better than whoever else in their weight class, or how they the boogeyman supposedly, and everybody's ducking them. They got all these fake contracts to come up, all these fake negotiations. They got all these hit lists they put. And now they're talking about, man, we chasing greatness, we fighting for legacy and everything, and all this and that. And isn't it something that we got more footage of these dudes on interviews than we do of their fights compared to Tank, where we got more fight footage and interview footage?
Oh, for sure.
Why they got to be on the camera so much?
You got 5 minutes? Mm-hmm. You got 5 minutes?
Yeah, I got a little bit of time. I think
man,
maybe
if
about
anybody
5.
else want to hop up and talk today, man. By the way, thank you, Phoenix, for coming on my channel on a regular basis, bro. And even though it does result in a lot of Shakur Stevenson hate, I do appreciate you. I do appreciate the time that you spend, man. I do get a benefit out of your Shakur hate. And I know that may put me at odds with Shakur Stevenson fans, but you're my guy, man. You're a straight shooter. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. You know, we letting Shakur take a break. You know, even though his integrity been called into question, like the whole situation with him and Bud is kind of interesting. I remember Bud, when he was talking to what was it, Club Shay Shay. So would you fight Jake Paul? No, I wouldn't do that. What about 200 million? Yeah, I'm fighting Jake Paul. And then just a few months later, man, if it's just about money, you done sold your soul. You know, you ain't got no morals. You don't have no dignity. You don't have any of that. But at the same time, this is the dude who Shakur Stevenson said taught him integrity. He said integrity is a strong word. Integrity gonna be around forever. Bud Crawford taught me integrity. He also said Bud Crawford the biggest cheater he knows. So I'm like, damn. This whole thing is weird, and it's funny because when it comes to this recent call out and the whole situation with Conor Benn, I remember when Shakur was on that interview talking about, whenever you got somebody on the rehydration clause, like you look at when Ryan fought Tank, when Ryan fought Devin, you could tell that Ryan felt better because he wasn't weight drained. And, if somebody's weight drained and weak, then it's going to be easy to knock them out. And, they not feeling healthy. And then the first words out his mouth, about, oh, this fighter, he motivated me, and we can go ahead and get it on in the ring. Yeah, I want that same rehydration clause, Connor, that you had with Eubank. And now he talking to, so is that what it is? He looking for an easy knockout based on what he said? Because he the one who said it that it's easy to knock them out because they weak and weight drain. Now he calling somebody out for a rehydration clause and shit. And that's just weird to me. But then again, maybe I'm just missing where the integrity comes into play. I think that could be it. I'm not seeing where the morals and dignity and all that stuff is really at effect here. Maybe I'm just a hater. I think that could be the biggest reason why I don't see. I'm a hater, and I don't be liking that shit. I don't. That's why I will give Keyshawn credit because he ain't putting no weight clause on Jermaine Ortiz when he moved up, and not just that. Shakur talking about he want to see if Devin gonna have a weight clause on him too. So he want Conor Benn and Devin at a catch weight with a rehydration clause on the shit. I don't think that'll work if both of them end up being champions. 'Cause I know Devin's a champion, so I don't think Shakur will be able to decide that for the fight. And Conor Benn, yeah, he's not a champion, but I mean, shoot, when you're moving up to that weight class, so what's Shakur saying? Like he trying to look for an advantage so he can finally get an easy knockout? Because we know if he go in and try to get a knockout, he's gonna break his hands before he break his opponent. And I don't see that shit happening. But we'll let Shakur slide for now since he just fought. Let him take his time off before we start talking about his opponents. Because even with Conor Benn, I think the WBC, unless they change their mind, said that Connor is next for the winner of Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios. And that brings me back to Devin Haney, because with Devin ducking Ryan, in the open, because he out his own mouth, he tweeted it, said that the fight is off soon as Ryan dropped out of VADA testing. But then Ryan went ahead and made a post showing his recent VADA test results. So what's going on here? If Ryan dropped out of VADA testing, why are they still sending him letters about his test results if he dropped out? That doesn't make any sense. Or could it be that the Haneys have gone back to their lying ways? Could it be that, they got to try to do something to take the attention away from Bill getting stomped out and Devin running off and leaving him on the floor? Is that what it is? They're trying to go ahead and say that, yep, Ryan is still dirty, and that's why he's, looking good against Mario Barrios. He's looking good in his training camp right now as he's preparing for that fight because he back on the juice. Man, these people out here back on that silly juice if they believe in that. And then on top of that, the reason that I've changed my mind about this Mario Barrios and Ryan Garcia fight, I used to not care who won. I was like, shoot, that's a fight that can go either way. Either Barrios going to be able to survive and make it a tough fight, or Ryan's hand speed and power going to go ahead and stop him. But now, because Devin has ducked Ryan, I want Ryan to go ahead and win, because then he'll be the WBC champion. He'll be a champion for the first time, and then on top of that, that means that Devin won't unify with the WBC if Ryan go ahead and win that belt.
Man, Devin doing that copycat shit, man. You really think he ain't trying to fight Ryan? He doing that copycat shit. He doing that shit Shakur doing. No, I don't want the tank fight. And then Devin be like, oh, look what he did. That's a good idea. I'll act like I don't want the Ryan fight. like man, fuck out of here, man. These niggas all a bunch of copycats. It ain't even just Gervonta they copy off, bro. They copy off any fucking move or anything that they do that they think is a smart move. That's all they do, bro. Bunch of copycat ass dudes, man.
No, I think they seen that Ryan was looking like he's in shape, and then Devin started having flashbacks, and then his brother had a dream and said, "Devin, don't fight Ryan again, man. Don't do it. If you fight Ryan again, we're not gonna be able to win this time. We're not gonna be able to get the positive test, man, because Victor gone. Without Victor, we can't do this shit." And I think that's what happened. And then they said, yeah, Ryan does look like he's in shape. He posting training videos every day. He training in his kitchen. He training at the gym. He training on the side of the street. He doing his body shot challenges again. Like, Ryan looked like he back in his right headspace. He's not snorting on any of that, booger sugar. He's not riding around on random horses that he found at the top of mountains and shit like he did in the press conference. Like, he's not doing all this random off the wall shit that you would expect out of a crackhead. And Devin and Bill must have seen that shit, and they got a little worried and say, you know what, we don't need that right now. We don't need that right now. Let's go ahead and pursue other possibilities. So I think that's what's going on with Devin, and for that, I hope Ryan wins the belt, and then Devin, I think he should fight Rolly. He should fight, Karen. They got Jack Catterall. They got Blair Cobb. These are guys that they got some smoke for Devin. I don't know why he don't want to fight any of them. He was talking about what's his name, that random ass dude from the UK. I forget what it was. The Crocker dude. Yeah, I remember making that joke. There was a crock of shit if he take that fight. That's the dude Devin was talking about. But nah.
Well, the thing with Devin is, it's like, I've been trying to ask. I tried to have this conversation. What's up, Fanon? What's up, Phoenix? What's up, Chat?
Yeah, what's good with it? I got to hop off, but I'm still listening.
I've been trying to figure out, like, okay, everybody. First of all, Devin just got the belt in November, and for some reason, people think everybody's career is supposed to revolve around Devin Haney. They're upset because none of the other champions, quote unquote, want to fight him. But I'm like, y'all know boxing don't work like that. You don't get to just fight champion after champion after champion just because you got a belt. And they're like, well, if they don't want to fight Devin, they need to drop their belt. Why do they need to drop their belt? Because they don't want to fight Devin. They can unify with other champions. It doesn't have to be Devin. And I've told y'all before, Bill Haney is going to weaponize drug testing to either make fighters do what they want them to do or have an excuse not to fight fights. Why does Ryan Garcia have to be in 365 drug testing to fight Devin? He's not even about to fight Devin right now, and you're saying you're not going to fight him because he dropped out of VADA, and he's clearly being tested for this fight. The reasoning just doesn't even make sense to me. And the fans just get told this stuff, and then they just make excuses to make it sound okay and run with it. And I don't be understanding the logic. He's clearly being tested for the Mario Barrios fight. When he fights Devin, I'm sure they will do drug testing then. How is that an excuse not to fight him? Ryan Garcia is not the only person to not to fail a drug test. But y'all are acting like this is special to Devin, and it's never happened in boxing before. And so everybody that have to fight Devin have to do exactly what Devin say for the drugs. Like, it's weird to me. I don't understand. I don't get it. And I don't think, what you think about this, Fanon? I don't think Ryan is the one that needs the Devin fight. I think Devin is the one that needs the Ryan fight.
Who in the world ever said that? Who would have said some? Well, I know who would said some shit like that. Absolutely, I agree 100%.
That's so you coming on here being like, oh, I'm not gonna fight him. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you're not gonna fight him. I don't understand. But nobody wants to talk about what Devin should do if none of the other champions in the division want to fight him. Who should he fight? Fanon, I cannot get an answer for that. I cannot get an answer for who's Devin's next opponent should be if he's unable to unify. They start crying and saying, well, you should be asking the other champions why they don't want to fight him. You should be holding their feet to the fight. Listen, you can't make the other champions fight him. They don't have to fight him the next fight just because Devin wants to. He just got the belt in November. Y'all don't know what other plans them fighters had already. They're not just going to stop and remix up their whole career because Devin Haney want to fight him. It doesn't work like that. I don't understand all the crying y'all do about Devin and Shakur. It's crazy to me. And another thing, Fanon, they have an issue with, which is why I was saying earlier, you can't cover for Shakur anymore, but not you personally. I was speaking in general. Maybe I should have said y'all or something. But now they're trying to say that, damn, I lost my train of thought. Oh, now they're upset because Shakur Stevenson, the CEO of Matchroom, said Shakur Stevenson had a 5-fight deal, which means he's been running around here lying about being a free agent. And I don't understand why he's lying about being a free agent. Like, what's the purpose of you lying about that? It's obvious you with Matchroom Eddie. Huh?
Shakur said he's a free agent?
Yeah, Shakur was saying he's a free agent. I'm a free agent. I'm going to do whatever I got to do to make the fight, even if I got to sign with PBC. I think he said that on the Breakfast Club or whatever interview it was on. But he's never been a free agent. Eddie Hearn been running around with him this whole time. And I'm asking people, why do y'all think Eddie Hearn is hanging out with Shakur Stevenson? For what? He helping him out? No. The nigga signed with Matchroom. Why is that so hard to accept? I don't understand. I don't understand.
Hey, you know what's going on, Thomas Hill?
Just listening to 2 Cents Cook. I mean, hell, she been on people's head so much that people applying stuff that she didn't say to her. I'm gonna be honest though, with regards to what she just said about being around somebody, but yet they just there for good purpose or good fun. They can apply any type of logic or reasoning for them to discredit certain folks, but you know, they could see it in living color and they won't be able to recognize it or refuse to recognize it, I should say. The thing with Devin though, there are opportunities for him to make a pretty damn good fight and a pretty damn good case in Karen Kukadashian. If they won't fight him, if they can't get the fight, or it's not, you know, the right time for the fights to take place due to other obligations and contractual ties, then why not fight Karen Kukadashian? Why not prove to the masses that, yo, I can dismember this dude better than somebody y'all say I'm scared of, or somebody that, you know, I'm trying to target, and go that route. You know, there's fights for him, but Karen Kukadashian is not a high risk, high reward type fight, or a low risk, high reward type fight. He's a high risk, low reward type fight, and they're not going to pursue that. Also, you know, they've shown how they move for the longest. They only think they're only going to take the fights that they think they have a really good chance of winning. And those chances, that's why they didn't fight Sandor Martin when he was the mandatory. It wasn't because they were looking for a big fight, because how can a fight without a belt be a big fight over your mandatory? Now, it was big in nature because people wanted to see the dynamic and how it played out, but still in all, you didn't want to fight your mandatory. And that's a duck. People don't want to give that to him. And this is the last thing I wanted to ask you too. Not too recently, Crawford went on an interview, and and I know you don't like talking about Crawford, but he was talking about.
Who don't like talking about Crawford? I talk about him.
Okay. Yeah. He said that, when somebody said you gonna turn down $100 million for a fight. And he was like, man, I got integrity. I got integrity. I got to protect my thing. I'm not about to sell my soul for any amount of price. Why all of a sudden now we gonna be integral with the way we carry ourselves? When you were making a fight and you agreed in principle to the terms of the contract, you went and stepped out and made another fight. Ain't that opposite of integrity?
But Thomas, the fact that he put out there he would come back for $100 million, only for people to ask you if you would come back for $100 million, and you sit there and act like you such this great person because you won't come back for $100 million. Like, nigga, you sound dumb for real. You really it's asinine. Like, I just hate the manipulation in the games that they play. You was literally running around saying, for me to come back, I need $100 million. I want $100 million for the Canelo rematch. And now you sitting up there acting like you just what does your integrity have to do with fighting for $100 million? What does selling your soul have to do with you fighting for $100 million? None of it makes any sense. Why would you have to sell your soul?
I don't know, but that's a great point. I forgot about him saying that. But see, the thing that I know that has changed is that good batch maker ain't making them good batches no more. And now 100 million ain't 100 million. And it lends itself to thinking like, hey, well, why won't you get in there? If you ask for this number and they will give you this number, why won't you get in the ring? That's a great point. I didn't even remember he said that 2 cents. Good stuff. That's just strange to me though. Like he's shown himself in many times to do things that didn't highlight his quote unquote integrity. Why in that moment, when they ask you this, do you now have integrity and you not going to sell your soul for anything? Like, what a part of doing business with somebody you are quote unquote an ambassador for defames, devalues, or takes away from your integrity.
It's because somebody's telling him what to say. That's the only conclusion I can come to with him and Shakur, with all this contradictory stuff, all the stuff they saying that don't make sense. Somebody's clearly telling them what to say, and it's an intent to mislead and confuse people. It's just a manipulation tactic. It's just all manipulation, and none of it makes any sense. None of it makes any sense at all. We've seen him several times say he'll come back for $100 million. There's plenty of clips out there about somebody mentioning $100 million to him, and he lighting up and saying he'll come back. And Andre Ward, you will come back for $100 million. Now all of a sudden you don't got no integrity if you like it doesn't make any sense. It's contradictory to everything he's ever been saying. Honestly, him and his fans.
Bud don't care about these people don't care about contradicting themselves, man. They just say whatever the fuck hits their brain at the time, man. Just a snarky ass way to make fun of somebody. Like looking for easy fucking openings. That's what it looked like to me. Like, bro, you don't realize, first of all, you just trying to be slick, saying, nah, I'm retired. These dudes are trying to sell Terrence Crawford's retirement.
Why are you still doing interviews and you all on Aiden Ross channel tagging along with Shakur everywhere? Like, you're 40 years old, bud.
He's not retired. That's why. Because he's not retired.
You
know the number one proof that he ain't retired? He's still working. Nigga, you not retired. You going different places and different boxing events, doing different things. When you're retired, you don't show up to work no more, bro. You're working. Fuck out of here. You're at fights backstage on camera. All you're doing is keeping yourself relevant in the social media era. You are keeping yourself relevant. You are still have a PR firm getting you interviews, setting you up for different things. You're not retired. You're working. The only question is, are you going to fight again? And I'm not buying that bullshit for at least 2 years. You may have more patience and wait to come. But no, I believe Andre Ward was retired. Why? Because it went 5 years. I never believed fucking Tyson Fury was retired because it never goes over a year. Never goes over 2 years. Floyd retired. You don't fight but once a year. So you skip a fight and you retired? No, you just skipped the fight. That's 2 years. No, wake me up at year 3. Then I'll believe you niggas is retiring. After that, other than that, you're just doing the negotiation ploys. That's it. Like Devin acting like you don't want to fight Ryan. Because if you act like, oh, it's just you being like a little girl being, not me, no disrespect, but y'all just acting like a girl acting hard to get. Acting like, oh, he wants to date me. I don't want him. The nigga don't even want you. But act fancy if you want, dog. Play hard to get if you want. None of them niggas is hard to get. Devin is going to probably have to fight Keyshawn. And as we've learned by Floyd Mayweather Jr. example, there ain't no future in the front. I don't believe these niggas are making this money that you say you making. Otherwise, you would have paid the sanctioning fee. It's not that much for a $10 million dude to take $120,000 tax deduction. Because the fact 1%. That's a fucking tax deduction. You're not even fucking paying it. It's coming out of your taxes. Well, to the extent that you get a discount on it. You're not even paying the full 120 because it's a fucking business expense. And I listen to fucking Andre Ward talk all that. I like Andre, but bro, you're not a businessman, bro. You took advantage of these sanctioning bodies having a legacy and a business in order to fight for these guys for you to ever get put in the situation you're in. So you guys sit there in this nonsense talking about people only deserve, acting like, should I say, people only deserve to get paid unless they're bleeding? What do you mean? These guys are working every day. They have a business that's 60 years old. That started in 1963. It was here way before you were born. There was WBC world champions and WBA champions for a decade before you were born. Muhammad Ali was the WBC champion. He walked into the ring with that belt. And it was the reputation of the fighters that came before you that is the reason that championship means something. You don't believe in the sanctioning bodies, you don't believe in the WBC and the WBA, then you don't believe in the championships that Ali had. You don't believe in all the championships you had when you were young before you decided you don't need it. No, you guys only bring up that argument when you don't need it. Not when you need it. When you need it, you want it. But when you don't need it, you don't want it. That's what everybody fucking does with shit they don't want to pay for, you cheap fucks. So stop lying about how much money you're making. Tell somebody you're not making $20 million. Tell them that you made $6.5 million and then pay them the money because most of the shit, at least 30% of it, let's say, you are just washed away right away because of taxes. But you also know that you've been receiving benefits from it. Also, let's talk about the fact that when you devalue that belt, you devalue the belt that all these other fighters have. What about all the other WBC champions? Their belts aren't worth it. You're just self-dealing and you're fooling yourself. That's all you're doing. When you say things like, and this is Andre Ward I'm talking about, that actually says something, made a whole bunch of a sense until he said that people are bleeding for their money. Bro, what are you talking about? People on fucking YouTube channels are getting up at 4:30 in the fucking morning, peeling their eyes to fucking the television screen, the computer screen, doing all kind of edits, doing all kind of interviews, risking their own money, doing this shit instead of other jobs. And you don't think they deserve to get paid, Andre, just because they didn't bleed? You got somebody like Don King that invests his money, whether you like what he got out of it or not. The sanctioning bodies and these guys are investing money and time in you. Nobody works for free. And the bullshit, let me tell you the most bullshit excuse I hear. This is the number one most bullshit excuse. What are they doing with their money? Andre Ward, nobody would ever get to ask you what you do with your money. What you do with your money, where that money's going that you make. No. You have a fight with somebody. You have a fight with somebody. A fight with somebody. And they pay you for the fight. It doesn't matter whether you bled, didn't bleed, knocked them out in 1 second, went 12 rounds. Doesn't matter what you're going to buy with your money, whether you're going to burn it or whether you're going to invest it in church. You're getting that money because you fought. The question is, what are they doing for the money that they're getting from you, Andre? Not what are they going to do with their money that they have earned themselves. That's not your business. That's a fact. It's not your business. You have a transaction with them. You were the WBA or the WB. I don't even think he was ever the WBC champion. I think that was Adonis Stevenson, I'm pretty sure, at 175. At 168, I don't know. I know he had the WBA, but let's say the WBA. You know you would not have got that big-ass payday or that fight with Sergey Kovalev if you were not the champion. Just like you would have never got signed if you weren't the Olympic gold medalist. The reason you pay is because you are in their organization, you participated in their organization, and you were named champion. As a result, you carry their agreed in a contract to carry their name. And that's what they want, the same thing out of Ring. The only difference is Ring is saying, well, we're not going to charge you. How long do you think that's going to last? No, seriously, Andre, how long do you think that's going to last? That they're going to get us, that they're going to have a big belt sitting up there, the only belt, and they're never going to charge for that? What's the chance? Just like they were only going to have they were never going to have pay-per-views. 5 years later, there's nothing but pay-per-views. So you're talking about all these, you guys want to big up the Ring belt, big up this shit because they're not charging you? Dude, as soon as they get rid of the sanctioning bodies, they're going to charge you. Because that's revenue to make. More money to get next year. You guys are walking people into a fucking prison where they're not going to make any money. And you're the ones getting paid to sell them out. Not paying the sanctioning fees, bro. I can understand not having 4 belts. But do you know who's responsible for the fact that we have 4 belts right now? The same people that are trying to sell you that we don't need any. They're the same people. The people that said we need to recognize the WBO, that the IBF, the WBA, and the WBC were not enough. That was the boxing writers, Ring Magazine. They sold that. They were the ones that sold the idea that the WBC should split from the WBA so that there could be a more international movement. It was them that sold the idea that the IBF should be considered a major sanctioning body. They're the ones that came up with the idea of major sanctioning bodies. They're the ones that came up with the idea not too long ago of the 4-belt era and how you can't even respect a person unless they have all of the belts. Now, magically, when the money hits the deck, they don't want any belts at all. Andre, they're just going to start charging you. They got the Zufta belt. They'll have the Ring belt. The Ring belt will be for the big fights. They're going to charge you. They're going to charge you. Because where else are you going to go? They're either going to charge you directly or they're going to take it out of the amount of money they pay you. And trust me, if they don't charge you, they're going to take way more money out of the pay than they would have charged you, Andre. You guys, I'm sorry, when you guys start talking business, you, in my personal opinion, are what you call useful idiots. Just because you bleed and you know what it is to fight and all of that, and you think you deserve all the money in the world, does not change the environment of business. It doesn't. If you continue to make fights where you know damn well you're getting more money than your fight is generating, everybody knows that that job is in jeopardy. Everybody. Anybody with a sales job ever that had a $5 million target and is getting paid $300,000 know that if 1 year he's getting paid $300,000 and all he's making is $100,000, nigga, that job is gonna leave. But y'all are making $10 million and your fights ain't making $5 million combined. Or let's blow it up. You make 300, you spend 300 million, you pull in $80 million of revenue, and you think that's gonna last? Because these guys say they don't want to charge you for a belt. Of course they don't want to charge you for a belt now because they're trying to get rid of their competition, which you're helping them do. Just like you tried to help get rid of the competition from the PBC, and Zufta is trying to fill in the gap, and now they've got a whole change to the Muhammad Ali Act. Sometimes I don't think you guys are the right people to make the decisions about how to change boxing because you guys are business illiterates. It's just a fact. No way is this shit where you know full well that there's less revenue being made in boxing matches, less revenue because of pirating, less money being pulled in because pay-per-views are underneath paywalls, less money being brought in, but yet the salaries are exploding. You have the American TV market that tell promoters that can't even get network deals. Top Rank ain't got a network deal. PBC's getting sued or basically the guy that runs PBC is being sued, and the guy that was running the PBC is being accused by Floyd Mayweather Jr., who was with the PBC. That shit looks like y'all just trying to self-implode that shit.
Not to cut you off, Martin, but did you hear what Espinoza said about why they're not getting network deals?
No.
He's basically saying that the networks, just to paraphrase, is pretty much uncomfortable with giving the deals because you got Turkey that could just come along and offer the fighters and pluck the fighters by offering them a whole shitload of money to come fight wherever he wants them to fight. So the networks are like, they're kind of skeptical of doing that because at any point in time, your network fighter or your main fighter can just be plucked up by Turkey to go fight on another or somewhere else or do something else simply because he's offering them more money. So Espinoza was saying that's kind of messing up the market right now as far as the network.
I think he's trying to be polite and keep it to Turkey because really they don't want to fuck with Ari Emanuel. They don't want to fuck with Ari Emanuel. It's not that. They don't want to fuck with Ari Emanuel. That's what that is. Ari Emanuel's a bad boy. When Ari Emanuel said that Ari Emanuel worked at Monopoly, they don't want to willy-nilly challenge that Monopoly, and that's why Ari Emanuel is associated with Turki Al-Sheikh and said, okay, we'll do ring cards every once in a while, but they're going to bottom out the back. I don't think they want to fuck with Ari Emanuel. That's what I had heard, because basically what somebody told me was nobody has sniffed a network deal ever since Ari Emanuel and all that got that money from Paramount. That war chest scared a lot of people off. Ari Emanuel's war chest, not just Turkey. But Turkey does come into play because you have something sitting on top of it. Even like what he did with he showed it when he basically fucked up a fight for what's my guy's name? Fundora. He just right out the bat fucked over Fundora because Fundora said after he had beaten Nick Ball, he was sitting up there and he's like, look, man, I want to fight at my own hometown.
Wait, Fundora didn't fight Nick Ball?
No, I'm sorry. Not Fundora. Figueroa. Not Omar Figueroa's little brother. Brandon Figueroa. Yeah. Brandon Figueroa. After Brandon Figueroa beat Nick Ball, Brandon Figueroa said, I want to fight in front of my hometown because he had flown to Liverpool to fight Nick Ball. So he said, okay, the next thing I'm going to do, I want to fight in front of my own hometown. Well, Turki Al-Sheikh jumps out and says, no, you should come fight in Saudi Arabia for the all-Mexican card with Canelo. So right there, nobody's going to want to compete with or even make an offer to Figueroa because Turki Al-Sheikh is just going to come by and make a slightly higher offer. Same way where Eddie Hearn prevented who was going to sign Bam Rodriguez was looking to sign with Zufta, and Eddie Hearn, who had the right of first refusal, came slightly higher, and then boom, he's locked in to the next agreement, right? So they've already got slave type. Well, let me say it the right way, not slave. They already have contracts at adhesion in with these people, with what they call the right of first refusal. So if you remember, Robert, this is why you shouldn't be an internet lawyer. Never listen to internet lawyers, ever. I don't care. And I'll tell you myself, don't listen to what I say. Call somebody that is licensed in your jurisdiction and ask them if that's what they want to practice in, because sometimes these guys have no fucking clue about what's legal and what the fuck is not legal. But anyway, these rights of first refusal, when you can't just keep giving them offers. You can't. That's what Robert Garcia didn't understand. When they say somebody makes you an offer, right? And you take that highest offer, you cannot then go to the guy and he says, okay, I'll match that or I'll beat it. That's it. You have to accept that offer. You can't turn the offer down. People would get what these guys think, because they're fucking internet lawyers, using their common sense instead of having an education and an understanding. You are agreeing that he has the right to make you an offer. And if that offer is better than the offer that you showed him, you have to accept it. And once it's accepted, it's done. You can't make another offer after you accepted it. It's right of first refusal, right? Or a right to match. Once you match, that's it. You can't even go get anyone else. Your duty is to go through every one of your offers and make sure that they're as high as they can be before you bring them. But again, if they're trying to gut the market, all they got to do is go up another $1, go up another $2. And you really don't have any freedom to move. That's why you're saying that explains 2 Cent why you can think the dude's really trapped with Eddie Hearn, but Shakur thinks he's a free agent. It's kind of like how money works. We're free to the extent that we got money. You know what I mean? We are. And you're free to the extent that they ain't got enough money to lock you down. Right? It's no different than any other contract of adhesion where you have minimums in your contract. It's basically just a minimum, but the minimum varies based off what offer you can go get and bring me. But it still means the minimum, you're just raising it to a minimum. Like, if you don't fundamentally know, and I'm not saying, I say this like, when you're dealing with deals, real deals, you have to be a fucking pro. You know what I mean? You need a real pro. Just like if you're in a boxing ring, bro, you need to be a real pro. There's all kind of shit that these amateur niggas that look good sparring can't see real time when they're dealing with real guys that really know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, you guys think you have things you don't have because you're reading your contract and you just don't understand. You can read them, you can recognize the words, but you don't understand. That's why Floyd's ass is a pastor when he's broke. Like, seriously, I mean, there's nothing new under the sun is the number one thing to understand. These guys, they can change it. There's a million ways to skin a cat. So there's a million ways to corrupt and organize boxing. But you got to understand that that is what they are actually trying to do. So if you want to be personal about it, then just be very, very personal about it and make sure that your business dealings are, what can I say, man? You're going to get fucked if you're a fucked person. That's all
I mean, I don't understand how they doing all of this and don't even know what they doing. I think that's very weird to be in the business of boxing.
That's design. That's by design. It's not an accident. It's design. They keep people away from them that would explain it. Just like they put barriers around you as a fighter to keep people socially away from you, crooks put barriers around you to keep you from people that will tell you the truth. I'm a perfect example. Bro, I know contracts and negotiation better than these managers do. Better. Way better. I've done deals in way different areas. I've got a Harvard education in the shit. I've got a law degree. I've worked in the area for 30 years. There's no way these people know what I know, and I know it. So when I see them cutting deals with you, I'm like, you're going to lose because you're not a pro. You're not. He can give you the deal. And this is, I'm telling you how bad it is. It's like boxing. You can make a mistake if you want. It doesn't bother me. So you can ask for a bunch of shit, and it could be shit you really don't want. And I'll give you all the shit you really don't want and take some shit that you don't know you need because you don't know you need it. The things you want is one thing, but the things you don't want is something else. And you guys don't have the vision into what you don't want. You don't want Turkey Al-Sheikh. You don't want him. You don't. You guys wanted him, and I was telling you the whole time. No, you don't. You guys I'm telling you now, you want to get rid of the sanctioning bodies. No, you don't. You really don't. Because, yeah, there's fucked up problems with them, but look at the shit they're about to do. They're going to make your problems worse by solving it.
Yep.
They're going to make they're setting up a problem for you. The transition's already taken place. Anyway, let me give Dean, what's up, man? Oh, hold on, Dean. Shakur as a free agent is like Magic Johnson being free of diseases in the 80s and 90s. Devin tried to rebuild his ginger block career. So congrats to Bill. Stomp the yard, Devin Haney at 52-0. Man, I got one on Bill. What's up, Dean?
Hey, Fanon, how you doing, Fanon? What's up, 2 Cent Thomas? Fanon, am I allowed to play something on this platform?
Is it somebody else's content?
It's it's like an interview, but they chopped it up. It's somebody else's content.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Somebody else's content. Okay,
go ahead.
You think Jermaine is your hardest opponent today? Shit, I don't know. I say one of my hardest opponents to this day was Miguel Medueno, a Mexican. Right after I fought, Bud was like, "Yo, you know that nigga was on steroids, right?" I'm like, "Damn, where?" I went to Shakur. Shakur got the main event. Nigga say, "Yo, you know that nigga was on steroids, right?" I'm like, "Damn, I put a nigga on steroids." When I went back and watched the fight.
Fanon, I only played that because Bud Crawford and his team did all of that shit when it came to you, Fanon. But meanwhile,
I gotta correct that, bro. I gotta correct something. Bud's team didn't do shit with me, and I remember you saying that. I always want to make a little point. Bud's team didn't do shit with me. Bud's team had a conversation with me and walked away. That's all they did. That's the reality of it. And I'm not saying that with any aggression towards you. I want people to understand. Right. I talked to his team, and his team did not accuse me of jack shit. They walked off once I told them what the law was. All they were trying to do was get me to control my narrative and not be so anti-Bud. And that shit came out in the conversation. They know full well I didn't defame them. They just thought I wasn't a lawyer and didn't have no money because somebody lied to them. So when I told them I was a lawyer and I have lawyers, they walked the fuck out because it's just like, I don't know if it's like the Tank accusation or not. Mm-hmm. Bro, they made a big accusation about me and said that, and you guys didn't get to read it. I got to read the horse shit. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you specifically what they said was the lie. That Bud's gloves had blown up in a fight in Nevada. The paperwork said that I lied about his gloves blowing up in a ring. So all I had to do was tell them, I didn't even have to give them a video because they already knew it existed, and tell them it is well known that exactly that happened. And that is not defamation. That is me telling the truth. So if you want to tell, and then guess what I made them do? I made them, because I'm a lawyer and I'm not stupid. I said, I will take this down if you agree with me to call me anytime you have a problem. And they agreed to it. So what did I do? I caused them a problem, which means anytime they have to say anything to me or claim anything about me, they have to tell me first. In exchange for me having taken down that video. So what happened was, you niggas are stupid. You set yourself up to have to pay this guy $1,000, $2,000 every time you complain. And then every time he called me, if he would have called me, we would have had to talk about whether or not what I said was the truth or not. And he would have to explain to me how I know it's not the truth. Suffice it to say, I never got another call back. Because again, I'm not an actor. I'm a 100% real lawyer negotiator who really knows what the fuck he's talking about, that really knows the law. Just
My
like
thing
you
is,
got
for
to
now,
get into boxing rings. Give me a second. Just like you want to get it, people want to get into you fuck around and get in a boxing ring with a guy that's a real pro, while all you do is spar. You did fine in sparring, then you get your ass twisted up because I stuck you with $1,000 an hour bill, is what I did. If I want to sit and talk to that guy for 5 hours and argue, you got to pay $5,000. Anytime you want to put a funny case on me, you got to pay that lawyer to call me because you agreed to do it. And I gave you consideration in exchange. That's a contract. You offered to me to get rid of a complaint in exchange for me, you telling me anytime that you think I do it, and you got to pay a lawyer to do it. So I don't mind you having to pay $5,000 in talking to a lawyer to convince him that I've defamed you. The lawyer's going to look at it, say right away, no, that's not defamation, and he's going to take his $1,000 for it. So every time a video that I do, if you accuse me every time I say, it's going to be $1,000 you pay, and I'm going to, if I actually do it, which I never will, because I know the law, I'll never do it, ever. I'll never defame you. I will always say it's my opinion, because that's all I have to do. All I have to say is my opinion that you look like you're on that. So Dean, they never sent me a note about me saying anything about steroids. The note that they sent me had to do with his gloves not blowing up. That's what he had to do with. Because when I said he looked like he was on steroids, they can't do anything with that because that's my opinion. But if I say he cheated and he didn't, that's an objective fact. Only problem is that his gloves literally did blow up on tape in the David Avenetian fight, and there's only about 1,000 news articles on the topic, which I did not originate. So therefore, the defamation, I don't know that not to be true because I saw it on camera. I'm a lawyer, bro. You can't do that shit to me. You really can't. And I don't care if and let me tell you what I mean by I'm a lawyer. I don't mean that I'm practicing the law. I don't mean that because I don't practice the law anymore. I don't. What I mean is I have an education. I have an understanding. I'm like a boxer that is not a pro anymore, but I'm a world-class fighter when it comes to this. A world-class one. So if you step up, I'm going to mop you up. Real easy. Real fucking easy. That's what happened with Terrence Crawford and I got to be honest with you. It may not have actually even been Terrence Crawford's people. I don't know that because the guy never validated or gave me any proof that he actually represented him. And I didn't even need it because all I needed to know is I didn't defame you. So I don't care. I'll take it down because you said it's not true. Because once you say it's not true, then it's my duty to say, okay, I'll take it down. Why? Because you said it's not true. Meanwhile, I know full well that the man's gloves broke up, but I don't want an argument. Why waste my time? However, you are going to give me something in exchange, which is you don't ever send me no paper to my house again until after you've called me and explained to me exactly how I lied to you and how I should have known that I lied to you. And to boot, if you do prove that I lied, we already have a remedy. I'm going to take it off. It's not going to cost me a penny. That shit will not cost me a dime to do that. Just like it wouldn't cost a real professional boxer any money to beat you up in a boxing ring. He wouldn't have to hire somebody to spar for him. He'd just take his gloves off and mop the floor with you. That's what. Now go ahead, Deem. I just wanted to correct that because people tell a story that is not accurate.
what I was getting at with it is the fact that they got a problem and all. How I know they got a problem because Bernie was was talking crazy to on the angry white man, the angry sportscast, whatever their name is, Greg and them, and he brought your name up, so I know they be talking. My thing is,
he's a fan, bro. He can be a fan.
How dare you have a problem when you did the same thing to Madueno and Manny Pacquiao? How are you having a problem about anybody having an observation about you in the boxing ring or anywhere else when you told Keyshawn Davis and Keyshawn said this? So I doubt Keyshawn lying on you. He said, Bud said to me, Madueno was on steroids. Bud made a definitive statement to Keyshawn. How can he do that? Madueno never was he never popped dirty. But that's the argument they use. And I want to know, how dare they come at you, Manager Marty, and others, me too, a bunch of, but I'm going to use y'all as an example. How dare they come at y'all, talk crazy because y'all make observations in the ring, but it's perfectly okay for Terrence Crawford to make observations in the ring about other fighters that never pop dirty. If that's not hypocrisy, if that's not fake, if that's not having integrity that Shakur Stevenson was fucking talking about, I don't know what it is. So what Dame is saying, all you people that was getting up here debating for nine, talking about he tearing down a black man and he hurting the sport of boxing, and y'all can't put jackets on people. I hope the guy you was defending, you say the same thing about, because he said the same exact thing about Medwaynu, and Medwaynu never popped dirty either. How the hell you know he was on steroids, bud?
Bro, they're dishonest people. Because if Bernie the Boxer was on there saying something about anything to do with them saying something to me about something I said about steroids, he's lying. Because that's not what they said. It's not what that was about. They clutched after some shit about his gloves blowing up. They know full well that you can, and it's not Bud. That's something else. It's not Bud. Those are other people making decisions to do things. These guys are a bunch of fronts. I'm telling you, that's why I call them peons. They're not the ones pushing the buttons. They're the ones doing what they're told to do. They're the ones saying what they're told to be said by the people at CA or creative artists or whoever's managing their career. But I want to be very close. I want to be very clear about my personal reputation. I have never been accused of defaming someone. Never. Bud did not accuse me of that. No, not based on steroids. Their note said something about his gloves busting in a fight and that being cheating. And he had a knockout when his gloves were busted, which I said was cheating. Again, an opinion.
An observation in the ring, right?
Hold on, let me finish. They're all bullying. It's just bullying. But the more people that repeat that, the more times it's repeated that somebody said something to me about steroids, is the more times a falsehood is repeated about me. I didn't know. They never said that. And if Bernie said that they said that, he's a liar. And the reason that there must be lying if he knows anything is because they don't want to talk about what they really said, which is they couldn't tell me anything about steroids. The one thing missing in the letter to me that was so obvious is, why didn't they say anything about what they're really mad about? What they were really mad about was the fact that I said he looked like a juice monster.
Bingo.
But any lawyer that you talk to is gonna point to one word in that sentence that kills any defamation charge. Looks like. Looks like. I know some of you niggas never got out of high school. But looks like is a mighty big word. Like that elephant looks like a frog.
Looks like it's about to rain.
Looks like it's going to rain. Looks like he cheated. Looks like. That's done right there. So what they're doing to me is slander. When they try to move the topic from what he actually said to a topic that he would never say anything to me about. There's no lawyer that would have ever sent me a contract, any type of note, if they had respected the mind of a black man at all. And this is what I get irritated about. You guys think I'm a liar just because you guys are actors. I am not a boxer. I'll be really honest with you. I'm not a boxer. I'm not going to sit up there and get in the ring and spar with you. I'm not. I can fight. So if you lift your hands to me, I know how to punch you in the mouth for sure. But that doesn't make me a boxer because I know how to punch you in the mouth. You niggas are not lawyers just because you can read. You idiots. You're not lawyers just because you can read. You're not managers just because you can make a YouTube video. You're not businessmen just because you can spend money. You're not. Just like you had to spend years and years and years and years and years to get good at a boxer, I had to spend years and years and years and years and years to learn the law. I had to work years and years and years and years to learn contracts. Years and years and years and years to understand business and a management consultant. I cried a lot of tears. I bled a lot. Emotionally bled a lot to know the things that I know. I didn't wind up being able to do this because I was sitting on my ass in a goddamn forklift. So at the same time, I'm not going to act like I'm a forklift driver. Because if I get behind a forklift, I'm going to kill somebody. If I get behind a 18-wheeler, I'm going to kill somebody because I don't know what I'm doing. You niggas are talking business and don't know what you're doing. And you're hurting people and you're hurting the business. You niggas want to follow me and copy me. You can't do it. Stop doing it. Stop acting like you can give these people business advice because you own a real estate property. Because you own a real estate property, that means you can deal with guys like Al Heyman. Do you understand the business acumen of Al Heyman? It's ridiculous. You guys are fakes, phonies, and media creations. That's what you are. So stay in your lane. Stop giving business advice to dudes. Bro, the biggest idiot, and I don't care what anybody says, I'll let you cook him, I got to go. The biggest fucking idiot is Floyd Mayweather. And I'm sorry, bro, it takes hard work to blow $1 billion.
You ain't lying about that.
You gotta work hard as fuck to go broke.
You heard that, boy. You heard that.
$1 billion. Go ahead, Dean. Dude, I'm sorry. I just wanted to correct that, bro.
No, for now, I know I appreciate you correcting me. My whole point was if that's not what they sent it to you for, that's fine. My whole point is what they was really mad about. And how dare you really be mad about some shit you doing to other fighters. You got on the interview and said you don't think Manny Pacquiao did it by himself. That's your opinion, bud, from observations in the ring. Well, that's people's opinion about you when you sit up there and you was with Victor Conte, the biggest drug cheat. Rest in peace to the man in sports history. I ain't saying that. That's a fact. That's my point, Fanon. That all of those people that came up here day after day said we was tearing down the man, saying this, that, and the third. That same guy they was defending Fanon is the same guy out there doing that to Madwanu and Manny Pacquiao. Oh, yeah, y'all best argument. He's never popped dirty. I don't think that's fair. And that integrity that Shakur was talking about, I'm trying to see where the Bud fans and their integrity is at. Is they going to get up here and say, hey, Fanon, I argued with you last year about it and your opinion and blah, blah, blah. If Bud is out there doing that about his opinion, I can't come at other people about they. No, they're not going to do that, though. And that's the problem with boxing. And that's the problem with everything that we got going on. Hey, y'all, I ain't tell Keyshawn Davis to say that. And I ain't tell Bud Crawford to say that about Manny Pacquiao in the interview. But I've heard Bernie the Boxer, Bud fans, people all over get mad that people feel that people question Bud Crawford because he was with Victor Conte. But it's perfectly okay for Bud Crawford to question Hall of Famer Manny Pacquiao, Madwanu, who never popped dirty. It's perfectly okay for him to tell Keyshawn it was that definitively. I just wanted to point out the hypocrisy, man. Appreciate you, Fanon. I'll holler at you, big dog.
All right, bro. Get back, man. Y'all got something? You got anything else? Oh, man, everybody broke out, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me see if I got one more. Shakur being a free agent is like Magic Johnson being free of disease. Exactly, bro. Hey, but look, man, let me get up out of here, man. Seriously, though, bro, can y'all stop that garbage-ass shit around me, bro? You dudes don't need to be talking boxing. First of all, you guys don't know what the fuck you're doing. And you're going to need qualified people to tell you what to do, but you guys stand Oh, I'm not. I didn't even say anything. My bad. My bad. Yeah, of course these niggas is hypocrites, bro. Bernie the Boxer, bro. Why you mention my name, dog, when you don't ever want to come on the channel, man? Bernie, why don't you leave my name out your mouth, bro? I've invited you, Bernie the Boxer, to say what you wanted to say to me 100 times, Bernie. 100 times, Bernie. But you still talking and mention my name in live streams, bro, when they're not big live streams. You want, dog, let me tell you, Bernie. Let me say something about Bernie, bro. And I mean this, dog. Dog, I ain't never done shit to you, bro. Treat you with respect. You said you had an issue with shit I said. Anytime I ever asked you to talk to me, you didn't respond. You won't respond. Whenever you on these platforms like Mill City, you're changing your personality to act less goofy, be less incendiary. But then when you're on some other platform, you want to bring me up, man. Hey, Bernie, why don't you just leave my name out your mouth, man? You leave my name out your mouth, dog. Because if you don't want to talk to me, bro, and really tell me what you think, dog, stop doing this shit over the internet, dog. Stop being one of these clowns that want to use my name only when, because act like you don't know me when it's big shit, but then talk shit about me on smaller fucking platforms, bro. Like I said, bro, I've tried to talk to you, Terrence Crawford's Cam, on multiple occasions, homie. So I don't care what y'all think about me, bro. Y'all are not straight up dealing people, bro. You not straight dealing people. Flat out. You not straight up people. You dudes want to throw rocks and hide your hand. I didn't say anything about Bud other than what was very obvious. Bud Crawford is working with Victor Conti. He takes a fucking year off. He blows up in weight. The dude looks gigantic. His neck is this fucking big. He got a turtleback, and he was working with Victor Conti. That's what anybody with common sense sees. But you want to fucking diss me. And you could have came to the chat. You could have said whatever you wanted to say whenever you wanted to say it, man. All y'all want to join this little nonsense media campaigns that are meant to stop my message. And it is what it is, bro. But you know I ain't lie on Bud. And at the end of the day, here's the thing. At the end of the day, you know what you did and you know what you didn't do. You know what you did. You know what you didn't do. God knows what you did. God knows what you didn't do. So the arbiter of whether or not I'm full of shit, Bernie, is in your brain. Because you know if what I said is true or not. And just because you know it, if it's true, it don't matter whether or not you want to admit it or not. It's true and you know it's true. So the real arbiter of whether or not I'm lying or not is you. You know it. You know whether or not I'm telling the truth or not. You do. So you can act for everybody else, bro. You have no interest, Bernie the Boxer, in me knowing the truth. Because I've asked to talk to you and I never asked to talk to people. You know that. I never asked to talk to Terrence Crawford. I never asked to talk to Gervonta. I've never asked to talk to Deontay. I've never asked to talk to these people, ever. Ever. You guys ain't got none of that shit on me. I'm not in your DMs trying to be phony. Only fighter I've ever DM'd is Shakur Stevenson, and I would tell you what it said. And that was me encouraging him, not me trying to suck up to him, getting money out of him. I'm not asking him to put me down, do this for me or do that for me. I just like the kid as a fighter. And you guys don't like that I'm real. And I'm telling you something else before I get off of here, because this is good for my soul. You guys are frauds. You guys are trying to transition from being them little street niggas you used to be, trying to transition into adulthood. And I appreciate that you're doing that, because you guys are 35-year-olds. Let me repeat this. You're 35, 36-year-old, 40-year-old men. I'm a 56-year-old man. I'm still learning. You're still learning. 10 years from now, I won't think the same things that I think now, just like I don't think what I thought 10 years ago, because you learn through experience. But there's never going to be anything that's going to change my mind about this, Bernie the Boxer. I've asked to talk to you on multiple occasions. You don't want to talk, which means either somebody told you not to talk to me or you just don't want to talk to me. Because I actually asked to talk to you. I never asked to talk to Shakur. He hinted at it, and I just went with it. Seriously, man. I mean that to Bernie the Boxer because Deem said that. Dude, I've asked to talk to you man on man from a dude from Oklahoma, man to man. A dude from Chicago, Illinois, and a dude from Omaha, Nebraska. I asked you man to man to talk to me when you said you didn't agree. You willing to talk to everybody in the sun but me. You willing to talk to anybody under the sun but me. And there's a reason. Because if you try to talk to me about Bud's glove blowing up, that conversation's not going to go well, Bernie. If you wanted to talk to me about Bud's weight gain and muscle mass and whether or not it's reasonable for me to suspect him, that conversation's not going to go anywhere. But you guys making a bunch of fucking jokes about me, you guys encouraging YouTube content creators to call me gay, to harass me, to do all kinds of all that bullshit you guys are okay with. All of that, you guys are okay talking to me through your burner accounts and all of that nonsense, man. You know why? Because y'all niggas is imitation. Y'all was nice and tough, bro. Big and tough a couple years ago. Let's not forget that. And before I get off of here, let's not forget when you niggas used to be big and bold. When you niggas used to be big and bold and bad. And thought you could do something other than just talk shit. That shit's gone. And this shit's going to get gone too. I don't believe Terrence Crawford's retirement until, and I mean this, clown ass shit, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. You're listening to me. I ain't no clown. You niggas can't even speak about me. You niggas are on muffle orders to even mention my name. What are you fucking talking about? You niggas can't even mention my name in public because you're under orders not to even mention my name. You scary ass niggas. You won't even say my name because you know what really is the deal. You won't even say my name. You send people who are bots and make-believe actors to talk to me. Make-believe niggas, by the way, who never sound on the phone like they sound on their videos. Dude sounds nothing on the phone like he sounds in his videos. When it was on the phone and it was a conversation, it's all sensible. And all of a sudden, niggas ain't crazy no more. Anyway, man, like I said, you guys are not businessmen. You're not. You're not. So stop playing with it. Otherwise, you guys can go broke. Just like Floyd. I mean it. You're not a professional boxer. Stay your ass out that boxing ring and let somebody that knows what they're doing do the work. Otherwise, you're going to get hurt in that boxing ring. You better find somebody that you trust. And the fact of the matter is, nobody says Al Heyman's a thief but Floyd. Nobody. And even Floyd is not suing Al Heyman. All he has is Rick Glazier. Exactly. Do want to talk to me on a burner account. Do want to call me all kind of names on a burner account. Like I don't know it's you, bro. You have the same syntax. You say the same thing. Why you want to hide, bro? Like seriously, I have no respect for you. I don't say I have no, I know you're bots. Because you niggas never want to talk to me underneath your fake names. You know what I mean? Your showbiz account is your main account, your branded account. Then you have your unbranded accounts. Because the showbiz brand, oh, we can't get the showbiz brand involved, but we can get this little fake ass ghost account. Oh, we can talk over a ghost account. Y'all niggas is in the comment section. You know you are. I'm one of the most well-known guys in boxing, bro. Without a doubt, bro. Without a doubt. But you niggas are under orders not to talk to me. Orders not to talk to me. Orders not to associate with me. Just like you're on orders to associate with me. when there's something to gain from it. Until it's time for you guys to magically come up with a problem where you magically don't like me anymore. And then magically we get into an argument. And magically people have to decide whether they like me or do they like you. You know what I'm saying? It's the same game you play every single fucking time like I'm stupid. I don't care if you come up as a friend or a foe. Doesn't matter to me, bro. Friend or foe, doesn't matter. Because it's the same game every way. Somebody that's a friend turns to a foe. And the guy that was the foe, at least he was your friend because he told you he was your foe. But y'all are out here running game on me, bro. And you don't even have enough courage to talk to me directly because the people who you work for told you not to touch me. Literally and figuratively told you to leave me alone, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. Scrubs. Anyway, with that, I'm out. Deuces. Exactly. Bill Haney, #1, bro. Anyway, I'm out.